Hello, my name is Martin Armendariz Jr. Hopefully you're having a good day when you're coming across this presentation. And today I'm going to be talking about Mayan religion. Cool. Starting off, before we talk about Mayan religion, I do want to talk about just a brief overview about the Mayan civilization themselves. So during the peak of the Mayans, they had one of the most sophisticated and complex civilizations at the time. They were pioneers in a variety of fields such as architecture, mathematics, infrastructure, the arts, societal hierarchy, and many other aspects. Really, Mayan civilization was the closest thing back then to modern day civilization that we see nowadays. And it was definitely flourishing in many parts of South America and Mesoamerica. And one of the key aspects about Mayan civilization at the core of everything, everywhere you looked, everything that was going on, religion is there and is one of the many foundational blocks of how the civilization came to be. So my in Mayan life, religion is highly regarded as like number one thing that they do before they even say hello to one another. Religion is just that significant, that important to the minds, and essentially just becomes a way of life for them. Uh, it also acted as an explanation for the world around them to explain how the sun would move and the moon would come out, and how the moon would go and the sun would come out. It explained the winds, the grass growing, the trees flowing, the animals, the birds chirping, animals moving and going. So it really just explained the world around them. That was like, and that it kind of explains why religion was just one of the key factors for them. The many gods, they also played a role in the Mayan culture. And throughout this presentation, I just want to show you why religion really does become a way of life for them. So starting off, we're going to talk about the Mayan gods. And when we look at the Mayan gods, whenever people first see them, we notice they have a unique characteristics to them. They're very, some of them are very over exaggerated facial structures and facial features, maybe like a elongated nose or enlarged lips, even, or even like having a whole bunch of muscles on them, even. And also, too, we see animalistic characteristics with them. Like we see one with the serpent body here on the right. We also see one with just a serpent in the hair and one with eyeballs coming out from their eye. It's very non-human, which gives them their uniqueness and highly regarded as like just pretty much just how important they are since they don't have the normal features that us humans have. And comparing them to other anthropomorphic gods, we see, they're, I would say, if anything, kind of similar to the ancient Egyptian gods. As you see here, there we have like Anubis with the Sphinx head. We also have the other Egyptian god with green skin, even. But if we look at something like the Greek gods almost just look like human. They just look maybe a bit more muscular, pretty, more handsome, even. And really just looking between the ambassadors between these guys and the other guys, you just see just how unique the Mayan culture really is just from looking at their guys, not even knowing nothing. You just see how unique and how vividly they see the earth compared to ancient Greece or even ancient Egypt. And now how the Mayans interpret the gods, that the Mayans portray the gods as just a profound understanding of the complexities of divinity. And that's one of the key aspects of how they see these guys. They definitely do see these guys way above them. They're just human, simple minded creatures, while the gods are complex. They have levels to them. They transcend simple human thinking. They just transcend like all boundaries of human existence. And the Mayan gods just blur the boundaries between humanity and the natural world, and kind of emphasizes the connectedness of all living beings, really together. And we're gonna see this more whenever we talk about how the Mayans believe everything just has a soul. So now we're gonna talk about our sacred pilgrimage that the Mayans take for their gods. So as we see here, we have our pilgrimage sites, and these are just a central place in Mayan culture. Just they just serve as conduits for spiritual experiences and just connections with the gods. And they usually just in a natural setting. They don't really try to touch them too much, just because they believe that the gods are really there. They believe this is how the gods just wanted their sites to be. This is how they want to look at it, and this is how they wanted us to see them. So the Mayans really don't really touch the sites too much. They don't really try to like clip trees or like try to make things look nice and neat. They just leave it as it is because they believe that's how the gods just want it to be. And they just go and they just either they lay down like what do we call it, artifacts or even gifts to the gods so that they may please the god. They just it's just really just interconnectedness with the divine at these sites. And the significance of this is not only just acts of devotion, but it also opportunities for a communal gathering. As you see here, a lot of people come to these sites. Well, this one here I think is more like tourism, but as you see here in this picture, we see quite a few people around the site actually devoting their time to feeling that interconnectedness with the God at this site. And these journeys are imbued with deep spiritual significance, and they symbolize a quest for enlightenment, purification, or even communion with the higher powers. And as we see here, the pilgrims, they just sought guidance, healings, and blessings through their pilgrimage experiences, and that helps reinforce that connection to the spiritual realm. So really the main importance of the pilgrimage is to really feel more connected to the divine, the the gods and the people that transcend our human way of thinking in life. And here we're going to talk about how everything is animate, or another way to say it is just how everything has a soul. So to talk about that, we have to look at the Mayan cosmology, in which they believe that the universe is a living entity and that everything from the stars to the dirt on the earth has a soul and is essentially alive. And as humans, we just can't see these guys or the souls in them, but we understand, at least the minds, the eyes understand that essentially this is still a living being. And as you see here on the right in that picture here, we see there's gods, stars, space, and the moon. We see gods beneath the earth in the dirt. We see gods on the surface level. We see gods in the atmosphere. Essentially, everything in the Mayan culture has a soul and everything has life into it. And furthermore, this their worldview fosters a profound worship for the natural world and a sense of kinship with all living beings. And as we see here on the right, these candles kind of represent that each of these statues here have a soul in them. They are essentially alive, and pretty much we have to treat these. We have to treat the world around us as essentially like a living being that it's alive and it's divine, and that pretty much shapes their whole attitude towards everything in the culture, their environment, how they treat clothes, how they eat, how they grow food. It since they believe everything has a soul, that basically kind of changes everything about life. It'll be like if modern day people here in the US believe everything has a soul, that would everything how we live and just how we think about the world would change, right? So, and by recognizing the inherent value and agency of all living beings, the Mayans cultivate a deep sense of responsibility towards the earth, which also plays into the fact how they live their life and how they treat the world around them. They just treat everything so sacred and delicate. Everything is done with that kind of a purpose, if that makes sense. And now finally, I'm going to talk about the influence and legacy of Mayan religion in today's culture. So The legacy of my religion endures and is still preserved in modern cultures throughout Mesoamerica through the practices of rituals, through stories of myths and the sacred sites that people are still able to see to this day. And despite the Mayan civilization pretty much at an all-time decline now, their elements are still persisting through even today, and we see these kind of around us. Many indigenous communities in the region still draw inspiration from Mayan religious concepts, like you see here on the top left. They're most likely at the site, and they're giving worship to the god there, lighting maybe some ancestor plants even, got the music, and just people just watching from afar, and they got the man there on his knees just praying. So we still see these old ancient Mayan religious concepts still pursuing to this day. And they even continue to draw from Mayan cosmology and traditional rituals, myths, and sacred sites. And furthermore, the legacy of Mayan religion extends beyond Mesoamerica. It captivates scholars, artists, people who just are intrigued by this religion. It kind of sparks a curiosity within certain people, and they just want to see and experience it for themselves, see how these people live their lives and how they treat religion as just their way of life. And now reflecting on Mayan religion. Studying Mayan religion offers valuable insights into the diversity of human spirituality. I think is the main benefit that I really get from reflecting on Mayan religion because this is just as diverse as it goes. Like when it comes to religion, you have multiple gods, everything has a soul, every aspect of their life is for a god or the gods, even. And as you see in the Mayan calendar, we kind of see everything about the Mayan civilization here in the calendar. We know that they're smart, we know that they're sophisticated, and obviously that they're civilized here to even make a calendar for their time and days. Even they even have gods and spiritual representations even in the calendar to represent to show that religion is still even or even as they look at the time even religion is still there and that's still the main aspect they want to keep. And therefore the study of Mayan religion offers a rich view of human experience and it highlights the profound connectedness of past, present, and future in the ever-evolving journey of human spirituality. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. And yeah, that's it.